Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Group Chat. We have a special little interview today with one of our team members.
Yes, Ky is in the building.
We got Ky in the building. So Ky helps us with Group Chat. He also is the man behind, I would say, most or all of our meme Instagram content about the episodes. He has a new project that is launching today that he wanted to talk about. It's pretty cool. So we asked him a couple questions about it. Really fun. And then we end the week on lots of news. There's lots of stuff to talk about. I think the biggest thing is it's just more of the combination of a lot of people are making a lot of money. And we're seeing that in the type of items that are selling very well. And also sometimes the type of items that don't sell anything, but still are worth an insane amount of money. I think that covers it. We're going to talk about all that and plenty more. And then, of course, we're going to end with winners, losers, and content. Who's ready?
Let's go. Woo.
Let's do it.
And also stay tuned. At the end of the podcast, we have a very special interview with someone that is absolutely crushing the NFT space. You're going to be blown away by his story and really what he's building. It's incredible.
Cash.
Ladies and gentlemen, Group Chat.
Cash.
It's $1 trillion. Hot.
So Ky, here you are,
right here
on the big stage.
Yeah, man. It's good to be here and not making, D memes, all day.
So those that don't know, Ky runs our social media over at Group Chat, but he also has another business, and he's here to talk about it today. So, what brings you to LA?
Yeah, we just launched our second location for the 90s experience. It originated in the Bay Area in Oakland, California.
Okay.
Back in 2019, and we were supposed to come to SoCal last year but then the pandemic happened.
Yeah.
But finally this year, the opportunity came up, the right location, the right timing, and then now, we just today is actually our official grand opening at Westfield Topanga.
Topanga. So that's in the Valley. So Congratulations.
Thank
you.
What
is the 90s experience? What are we experiencing?
Well, as the title would say, you're experiencing the 90s, whole aura, right? We think about it. I'm an 80s baby, 90s kid, on the same, we're all 90s kids in some aspect. And
well, not D. He was an 80s kid.
Yeah, you're right. He's the old man. The
old
90s.
fat genius.
Fat
80s kid.
The old fat business expert.
Well, I got my next meme already. D is a garbage pail kid. Anyways, really what you're going in there is experiencing all like the nostalgic moments of the 90s. So there's a lot of 90s references, obviously, where music, pop culture, even just artifacts. I call them artifacts, like they're from Egypt, but they're, like a CD player, Tamagotchi, stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
So when you step in, you're really just kind of going down memory lane for those that experienced it. And for those that didn't grow up in the 90s, it's just a cool opportunity to just check out what it was like back in the 90s, right? But the cool thing about it really is that the 90s culture, music, fashion, celebrities, it's all still relevant today.
Yeah.
Right? It hasn't gone away. It's not like...
It's more relevant than ever.
Exactly. Sometimes people come up and they're dressed to come to our experience, and then, you would think like they're dressing up like it's a costume, but realistically, you look around the corner, someone's wearing a Nirvana shirt just as their normal day-to-day attire, right?
Yeah.
So 90s fashion really started trending back like when the idea came about, about 4 years ago. So we realized, hey, why not do something centered around the idea?
That's awesome. So is it kind of like a museum of ice cream for 90s?
Yeah, I would say so. They were one of the biggest inspirations. And I would have to say, like, if it weren't for my wife, probably wouldn't even be here. She's the one that told me, like, hey, Museum of Ice Cream's coming to town, Candytopia, Color Factory. I was like, what is all this? Mm-hmm. And I was never into these experiences. And then I went to all of them pretty much. And then I realized, this looks like a pretty good business model, no cogs, really. And everyone that walks through the door is just like, it's kind of like Disneyland.
Yeah.
Right? You build it and they will come. And I think the great thing about it is that we weren't just trying to make, like me and my co-founders, we weren't just trying to make just an experience just to like as a money grab. We actually did it as a passion project, to do something that actually meant something to us. It meant something to a lot of people. So focusing on that nostalgia of the 90s was really important for us.
That's awesome. So where in the mall is it?
People always ask. So it's near, if you're going to go at Westfield Topanga, it's near the Target entrance on the first floor next to Gap Kids and Cinnabon.
Great.
It's like those are the markers right there to come check it out.
Kai, I have a question. If you could take one thing from the 90s and replace it with today, what would it be?
Take something from the 90s and replace it?
Like saying, I wish it was like that again.
I'll be honest with you. I would take away social media as it is now and bring back AOL.
Wow.
And the reason why I say that is because there was just something about that struggle of going online, with 56K dial-up.
Yeah.
Right. And
you got mail.
Yeah.
And I think it's just in general that if you think about the 90s, it was actually the last decade where you went from analog to digital. We actually experienced, both sides of it.
Yeah.
Right. So I think there's an appreciation aspect of that. And I just, like I said, AOL back then, it was more about, just chatting with your friends and
sexual predators.
That too.
Chat rooms.
The chat room.
But AOL was the first community online.
Yeah.
Prodigy. I was in Prodigy chat rooms.
See, you're old.
Yeah.
D's before AOL.
AOL is the first thing that hit my radar. What was Prodigy?
Prodigy was the same thing, but before AOL.
Yeah. AOL just had a way better user interface that made it, friendlier for like Joe Blow to just go on and feel comfortable to be on the internet.
And iconically, the worst acquisition in the history of technology.
Yeah.
Yep. Unfortunately.
Who acquired it?
Time Warner, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
And it tanked.
Yes.
Doesn't exist.
Well, a little business news from the 90s.
Yeah.
Just like group chat.
1996, CNBC.
Episode from 96.
Yeah.
Good stuff, man. And so far, it's already live right now?
Today is the official grand opening. Yep. So there are guests right now in our space.
Nice.
So yeah, I mean,
You got a discount code or something?
D's, I'm
What
always
can
on
you
top
give
of that. I know better to come here empty-handed.
Okay.
So yeah, for sure, we do have a coupon code for all the Kathys out there. Promo code group chat gets you $5 off your ticket.
Cool.
So,
And then where do you buy the ticket?
go to experiencethe90s.com. So experiencethe90s.com. Yep.
Okay.
And then you'll be able to click on, since there's 2 locations, you'll be able to click on both the Topanga or Oakland. Obviously, don't click the Oakland one.
Yep.
It's going to be a big mistake. No refunds.
Can we get D a discount and a Cinnabon when he gets that?
Well, maybe if you
He's
take
not gonna
away
be
a
able to
couple
turn that thing
cameras.
Yeah.
I don't want to give D any Cinnabons.
I was more of a Boardwalk Fries, Orange Julius.
Orange Julius was
Orange Julius
Yes,
nachos and like a drink. Woo!
that was the one.
Now we see your inner fat kid coming out.
I got some pictures from my youth. I was a plumper.
It was a diabetes. That's what happens. Yeah, this is what happens behind the scenes, guys.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Well, awesome.
Incredible.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
And yeah, we'll be sure to check it out. What's the website again?
Experiencethe90s.com.
All right.
Yep.
Code group chat.
Good stuff.
Code group chat.
Awesome.
Thanks, Kai.
Thank you guys. Appreciate
Thank
it.
you, guys.
Thank you.
Okay. You guys ready for news?
Let's get into it.
Okay, let's see what we got this Friday. I think, we should probably do a little check-in to the Travis Scott Astroworld situation.
Yep.
It seems like every day, as you would expect, every day there's kind of new info. There was kind of the round of news reports. Then there was the round of apologies or, statements. Then there's the round of lawsuits. What's the most updated news on the situation?
So the 9th person actually just passed away.
I saw that.
today.
22-year-old, right?
22-year-old. And Live Nation so far has given out refunds to all 50,000 people. Travis Scott is paying for the funerals of those who died. But then a report just came out on TMZ saying that Live Nation may get off on at least some of the lawsuits thanks to a legal technicality. So there's a waiver when you purchase a ticket that could hold up under Texas law, which would protect the company from basic negligence. So here's a statement. You voluntarily assume all risk and danger incidental to the event for which a ticket is issued, whether occurring before, during, or after the event, and you waive any claims for personal injury or death against us.
Wow.
That's on the back of the ticket, right?
So
It's basically like when you go to a baseball game, if you get hit in the head with a foul ball and die, that's on you. That's pretty much what they've...
Yeah. And so, was it very clear and evident that was stated? The lawyers will have to all sort all those things out because people are saying that it wasn't clear and evident. That is... it's good. This is gonna be very, very messy.
If you're Live Nation, you should get ahead of it and just pay out $1 billion.
Yeah.
Because the alternative is, if it goes to court, who's gonna say Live Nation wasn't at fault, regardless of what's on the ticket?
Yeah. Yeah. Any juror is gonna go against them.
Yeah, that's
maybe not in
brutal.
Texas. I don't know. In Texas, they would say, you know what?
No matter what you sign your life away, but they also have a responsibility to provide a venue that can handle 50,000 people.
Yeah.
And if these are ODs, that means their security did not catch the drugs.
Yeah.
Oh, some people are saying ODs?
Some are saying, of the 9, it's unclear. We won't know till autopsies if it was ODs or stampedes or combination of both. My guess it's both.
Yeah, I had a friend who does some like touring stuff who said that like you're gonna try to lean as hard on anything but negligence of security. So if you can try to, if someone had drugs in their system, they're gonna say, oh, that caused it. Like that's what they're gonna push towards.
I don't see any way Live Nation is not culpable, whether it's payments, whether it's fines, whether it's being banned from, doing certain types of events. It's just inescapable, in my opinion. And we have a big festival this weekend in Vegas. That's...
So here's what I'll tell you. I think Vegas as a city is very well equipped for mass crowds. And when shit goes wrong, they stick together and they cover that shit up.
They do.
Yeah.
So are they equipped to handle it or they're good at
if you think
both. I think you don't think in Las Vegas, people don't go there basically to blow all their money, do a bunch of drugs and call it a life.
I don't...
And that never gets reported.
What was the ultimate resolution of the country concert where
nothing?
People were getting shot and
disappeared.
killed.
Vegas hit it.
Yeah, it's just...
I will say...
it literally disappeared. All the evidence disappeared. Or like there was no evidence. They couldn't find, the hard drives and
just by sheer numbers, it was a more tragic event.
Yeah,
right?
It was an extremely tragic event.
Was it over 25 people died?
I think it was like 50.
50? Yeah,
that was the biggest mass shooting in history, I think.
Yeah, so...
That's insane. And look what happened in Vegas. Nothing. It just continued on. That's what I'm saying. Like, the only difference is this happened in Houston and it's a concert promoter, whereas in Vegas, it's everyone's best interest to protect Vegas at all costs.
61.
Jeez. 61 people.
I mean, that is insanity.
61 shot by one person.
Yes.
Allegedly.
So Anthony has some artists in the festival this weekend. He had to go today. We know Anthony wouldn't show up until like an hour before.
Just for safety protocols?
Just to figure out how the festival's going to go.
Wow.
I do got to say, though, like, I hate to say this, but it is kind of a unique to Travis Scott, like, thing. Meaning, like, Travis Scott, like, I'm not saying he's at fault, but he does have the rowdiest crowds in all of rap. Like, I think... But I wouldn't be necessarily worried. Like if I was at a festival right now for another artist, they're going to make announcements and really keep a close eye. I mean, I wouldn't be like worried. Would you? I mean, I would never go, but you get the right.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it'll come down to like what crowds are the most rowdy. I would guess like metal and rap.
I've only been to 2 festivals. I've been to Coachella and went to Lollapalooza. I don't think I've been to any others.
I mean, not those are like the most crowded ones.
I feel
by far.
like that weird like trap music shit. Like, you know, don't you think that's Flostradamus? Like people are in there, or are they just all like on Molly?
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
Yeah,
EDC is
like
just
hugging.
a great example. Like,
I mean, the Sahara tent gets slammed at
yeah,
Coachella.
but it's not.
But no one's
But not
rowdy.
scary.
Not
It's
scary.
not scary,
Yeah.
but you are, if you're claustrophobic,
It's a bunch
not the
of
place.
rich white kids.
But look, I love Travis Scott, but I've been in clubs where he's performed and it's felt like dangerous.
Yeah.
Like people just go nuts. And, you know, like I do think I wouldn't say like my feeling is that like festivals are just dangerous now. Like I think we saw how they could get out of hand and like it's kind of hard manpower wise to stop it. But
It's going to have
I do
zero
think
effect on the business of festivals. Kids don't care.
yeah, and does it happen again? Like, does it happen again? Like, meaning, I don't think this is like a rampant festival problem.
Yeah, I think the only people who probably have fear are the festival promoters and whoever puts it on and the artists. I don't think the fans care.
No.
Well, the fans probably, like we said, unfortunately, are like amped up by it. But I will say, I'm shocked at the amount of backlash. Like, fans are like super upset. Like, there's videos going around of like people playing Travis Scott, like, you know, during the warm up for somebody else's show, and like people booing until they
really?
change the song. Yeah,
Wow.
like that is happening.
I will say, not to make light of the situation, TikTok journalism will be at an all-time high this weekend. Live in the
And
field.
A big time. And the amount of TikTok journalism, once again, I got sucked in, but I think I must just be on the algorithm as like possible conspiracy guy.
Yeah, sucker.
Because sucker. I've been in the sucker category because they literally served me all the wildest shit. But it was so crazy on like satanic sacrifice ritual. Like that is the narrative that TikTok journalism went with.
Mm-hmm.
Like here's this, you know, Travis in his video for his new video, he wore a Pearl Jam shirt. And if you look, in 1998, Pearl Jam, 8 people died at a Pearl Jam concert. And so Travis knew.
Yeah, I don't know.
So TikTok journalism. That's it. That's where it stops. I'll give you guys more updates tomorrow because I'll have 3 hours of it tonight. Anyway, so we'll see. This will be constant updates. I'm just curious, let me ask you guys this. We love predictions. When is the next Travis Scott show of any type?
I think he's persona non grata at a concert full calendar year 2022.
Yeah, I think 2023 comes back.
Yeah, that's fair.
I think he just has to almost go away for a little bit, be forgotten.
And we know Travis is in the clubs. So is
Yeah.
he not going to be in the clubs for a year?
No, I think
Just not performing. He just won't have a mic.
yeah.
But think about the TikTok journalism if he shows up to Poppy or...
Well, he's got to wait a few months.
Yeah.
I think spring, he could be in the club not performing and people wouldn't freak out. I don't think. I mean, but I can't tell, man. It's so crazy.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, look.
Like, you don't know the reaction. You don't know the way the crowd is going to like decide.
Look, here's the sad reality. Something else happens and then you forget. Like everyone forgot about the baby. He was persona non grata like a month ago.
Well, yeah, but we're talking about 8 people dying. This
I
guy
know, I'm
said
just
some
saying.
weird stuff about sucking dick in a parking lot or something. Like, no one even knows what the fuck he was talking about.
Gibberish.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah. Well, we'll see what happens. We'll have lots of updates. And it's an interesting case. I mean, even from the business side of it. Which
I want to see what McDonald's and Nike do. That to me is that's a big decision. These are like pretty much for Gen Z, the 2 most important brands.
Yeah.
Yep.
I agree. Okay.
Those are good ones and they're conglomerates.
Big.
Yeah, especially you'd think McDonald's has to bail, right? I mean, Nike not, but McDonald's because there's so many young people.
I mean,
We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens. Okay, what is up with Rivian? Rivian is a...
This is almost a joke.
Well, apparently what's up with Rivian is everything. But Rivian is a EV startup, and it's now their second day of trading, or maybe today's their third. And their market cap is now bigger than General Motors. But I will say I spend a decent amount of time on the road here in LA. We're drivers. I don't think I've ever passed a Rivian.
You know why?
I have passed a GM though.
Do you know why you haven't passed a Rivian? Because by the end of the year, they're hoping to deliver 1,000 cars. So this company, hoping to deliver 1,000
They've
cars.
done less than $1 million in revenue.
And their market cap is $120 billion. $120 billion. So that, to me, means Tesla is so cheap. If everyone is just EV enthusiam,
yeah, at 1 trillion, it's
at
cheap.
least we see you're on the road. How many Teslas?
I mean, he has one, don't you? Don't you have a Tesla? Or Kareem has it. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I see it every day.
By your journalism,
no matter if I leave or not.
Tesla's undervalued. You don't see Rivians. Right. Why is it 120 billion?
Yeah,
you see Teslas. Right. It should be more than 10x.
It should be 100x.
Is this more like an internet, like a Shibu situation?
No,
or is this more like a Nikolai?
So here's the thing: is they're making an electric pickup truck. Okay, pickup trucks are some of the top selling cars in America. So the opportunity is huge. They claim they're going to deliver 10,000 cars next year, and they have a 55,000 car backlog. So it's serious numbers. Amazon is an investor in the company. Ford is an investor in the company. Amazon wants electric trucks for their fleet. They know how valuable, how much cost savings that will be on gasoline if Amazon owns a fleet of electric pickup trucks. Because Tesla's trucks are nowhere to be found. We've seen the videos, but that shit ain't coming out anytime soon. So Amazon's like, we need these goddamn trucks because we're going to save a fortune if we had electric
he's not buying them from Elon.
Yeah, exactly. So I see the potential in the company, but holy shit, $120 billion? It's
a lot of potential.
Yeah. I mean,
you know what's funny that I just realized is the same friend I told you about, the same friend I told you about that made a bunch of money on Tesla stock is waiting on his order of his Rivian. He ordered a Rivian.
He made all the money off Tesla and didn't go to Rivian.
Yeah, because he did the same thing with Tesla. He was like the first person I knew with a Tesla and also bought a bunch of stock and is doing the same thing with Rivian, he told me the other day.
This guy's a visionary.
This guy's rich.
So this guy might be friggin' Bill Ackman.
Yeah. There's an article saying why you should have bought Tesla stock, not a Tesla.
It's so true. I think someone did that. Didn't Taylor do that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like if you took that same amount and put it into stock.
Especially,
maybe.
Yeah. And Tesla's not a cheap car, so you could have made a lot of money.
It seems to me like you can almost just say like electric car or electric truck company and have like $100 billion market cap.
I mean, Lucid is worth $72.5 billion.
So if you think about Nikola doesn't even make cars and they just pretend and
they're worth $6 billion.
$6 billion. So if you pretend you're worth $6 billion, you even have a car, you're worth 120.
If you could show us one car, you're worth $120 billion.
If you can get a model of a car that's life size, put an outlet in it, we'll give you $5 billion.
I mean, I'll to kick it up a notch on electric, how irrelevant what your business is. Bird scooters went public through
They SPAC'd it.
They SPAC'd it.
Back it up.
Okay. They just got $400 million of cash during the SPAC. I think that it's worth, I can't tell what it's worth, but I'm assuming.
It IPO'd a little above $2 billion.
I mean, nobody uses these. 0 people use scooters.
I used to use one every day. I haven't used one in a year.
Yeah, more.
Why is that? COVID or you're just not moving around?
No, there's just no scooters. You can't find one.
Yeah.
Would you put your hands on one of those things?
No problem, because we learned that COVID doesn't get transferred off surfaces.
I know.
It's just
I
gross.
just feel like I got a new understanding of germs.
I rode a scooter once in the last year, and I realized how unsafe they were. And I was like, this isn't for me. Even in Hollywood, where we live,
unsafe?
Yeah.
You can't be on a scooter on a main street.
Then the entire LA is a main street.
No, what I would do is basically the neighborhood by our office is pretty quiet and you can get to food options pretty quickly.
Yeah.
But what's unsafe? You mean like you're worried about getting hit by a car or
Yeah.
So the thing is you're technically not allowed to ride on the sidewalk. So you're riding on the street. They are fairly sturdy, so I'll give them that. But you hit a pothole, you're flying.
I'm just glad I got out of the scooter game with no injuries.
Yeah.
I think once like I hit something and I didn't actually fall.
But do you even see people in scooters? I don't see them anymore.
No.
Not like they used to.
But guess what? You
I see them
spack
by
it
my
up.
house.
You spack it up.
Nobody cares. That's the whole thing. The
But
less
you know what
people
people-
actually using it, the better.
The people who do care is the people that bought the Metro Mile SPAC.
Yeah.
They spacked that thing up, and I think it got sold for 90% less than its market cap on the day of the SPAC.
So Lemonade Insurance bought Metro Mile
Yep.
for $500 million.
No, 200 because 300 million of cash was on the
Sure,
balance
but
sheet.
the acquisition
No,
price
but the actual value to
Yeah.
shareholders is 200 million.
yeah. That is,
So SPACs can't go
Okay.
wrong.
I mean, most
They
of them
do
have.
go wrong. Yeah, isn't it like 60%? What were the stats?
No, most SPACs are.
They were
'cause
terrible.
A SPAC is turned in what it turned into largely
A joke.
largely because of one investor, and we don't need to rag on him, but
Yeah.
it basically was a way to package shitty assets, SPAC it up, and you get out, and everyone else gets stuck holding the bag. That's a SPAC.
I like that.
It seems like find someone else to hold the bag is like that's a very 2021 business strategy. So they're playing the game right.
Sometimes you want a bag, sometimes you're trying to give a bag.
Isn't it odd? Yeah, that's really interesting, really philosophical.
Yeah.
Sometimes you hold the bag, sometimes you hand it off. What about, we talked about like, this weird world that we're living in where, obviously we have like homelessness and that stuff is through the roof. But then we also have more people just literally printing money than ever before. And, there's things like NFTs and all these countless things. We talked the other day about how like, apparently, I don't know, I'm not in the market for one. It's impossible to get your hands on a new or used private jet. Because not only is the first hand or the new market tapped out and there's a wait list for a year, but you can't even really buy a good used one. In line with that, Bentley, may have heard of them. They're not selling cars to broke people. Is on absolute fire. Record sales.
What's crazy is Bentley in 2020 sold 11,206 cars. That's more than Rivian's going to sell in the next 2 fucking years.
Yep.
They're not worth $120 billion. They are now also announcing their first electric car by 2025.
Now you're worth
There's the
120
billions.
billion.
There you go.
But it's
Said
just,
it.
I mean, I guarantee you, I think we've talked about it. Bentley, Ferrari, Lamborghini. Lamborghini is like a Tesla in LA. I literally, the other day, Dominic thinks every fast car is a Lamborghini. So we're driving back.
You might not be wrong.
Yeah, I mean, LA.
He's probably
And
right.
so we get off the freeway off Fairfax on the 10. We're driving up Fairfax Boulevard and we're behind a Lamborghini. So Dominic, there's a Lamborghini. Wow, cool. And then I'm not paying attention. He goes, oh, there's so many Lamborghinis. And I was just like, this guy's probably a Dodge Charger. I'm on Fairfax Boulevard. This is between where Little Ethiopia is, that whole stretch. Every single car is a Lamborghini. There's like 75. It was a meetup for Lamborghinis.
They were all the Urus? Oh, really? There was a meetup?
A meetup. I'm talking every single car, both sides of the street were Lamborghinis.
This is what street?
Fairfax in Little Ethiopia.
That's down the street.
They're
Yes.
everywhere.
So
They're literally
everybody,
everywhere.
and I was looking at the car drivers just to get like, and it was so all over the place. It was old people. It was young people. It was
Well,
just
if
like,
you're like a young person that's made crypto as part of the kit,
yeah,
that's like part of the meme. You have to Lambo, right?
yeah,
So I'm sure some of it's that.
yeah.
I have a good personal anecdote. A close friend wanted to get a watch, so I went with my friend to Cartier on Rodeo.
Okay.
It's obviously not for me. I don't wear watches.
Yeah, you don't want to get stabbed.
So
Be
we're
careful.
we're at Cartier. Firstly, appointment only. You walk up and they turn you away.
Yeah.
So they're like, we're only appointment only. And so the appointment was for like 1 hour later. So we're like, sure, walked around, came back. We're talking to the salesperson. And after my friend gets the watch, I asked the salesperson, I was like, how's business? The place was slammed. And she's like, business is great. And I was like, is it better than pre-pandemic? She was like, it's not even close. Appointment only which is smart because it's intent to purchase. If you're willing to come back an hour later, like you're not just like browsing.
Yeah.
So they basically cut out all the window shoppers.
Yeah.
And of appointment, I want you guys both to take a guess. How many convert?
50%.
Of appointment, 75%.
9 out of 10.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Oh my God.
So the
And
salesperson's
then you just
like,
walk out and there's a guy with a gun that says, "I'll take that."
And 9 out of 10 people get their Cartier bracelet taken from them.
Thank you very much.
But the demographic was interesting. I saw one person with maybe a girlfriend or wife or fiance with a certified lover boy shirt.
Okay.
So not sure if that's a crypto
Young money.
person that's like just came up or it was very diverse. I think people are making money every which way.
Yeah. It doesn't matter where you come from. You're going to
And
Cartier.
this is without, think about Rodeo. We live here. Rodeo is typically over 50% international people. They haven't even come yet. This is the first week they're allowed to come.
Yeah.
So think about their sales.
Certified record sales.
Yeah, you're right. That's pretty crazy, actually. If they're doing those type of numbers without
with
real
Americans.
international travel, I feel like I was probably bet 9 out of 10 purchases pre-pandemic were not Americans.
I would guess that too.
Yeah. Specifically, if you live in LA, you're not going to Rodeo.
Yeah.
No.
Even if you want to get something from one of the luxury brands, you'll go to one of the other locations.
Yeah, you want to deal with
Rodeo
the
literally
circus.
became like Fairfax over the pandemic.
It is.
Like I went there one time, I think maybe two, and like it was like lively and popping like Fairfax. You know, like it was not old Rodeo.
Well, I think
was like I felt very not like this isn't
the
my
default for the young person in LA is to attempt to wear luxury.
Scene. Yeah. Well, somehow a lot of them they figure it out. I don't know how. I mean, everyone's wearing luxury.
So if it's 9 out of 10 at appointment only Cartier, so Chanel's 10 out of 10. If that's appointment only. 11 out of 10.
Chanel's 11 10 because like the 10 people walk in, they're like, you know what? For the next time I come in here, I want to buy 2 more bags. In New York City, when I was walking, the only store that had a line was Chanel.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Luxuries.
Yeah. Oof. Hey, you speak of what's not hot. What's going on with Beyond? Why is that falling? I thought Beyond was. I thought
basically
we were on fire.
everyone's going back to meat.
Oh. You guys ready to hop? You guys ready to switch sides? I will personally cook up some bacon and bring it to both of your houses. If you want to flip to this side. It's over. The trend is over. Is that what's happening? What's happening?
So Beyond Meat stock cratered 17% today. Disappointing third quarter results. The revenue fell short of expectations. And they had already warned that it was going to be slow. So it went below that. And they're predicting a gloomy outlook for the rest of the year. And I think, so Beyond is blaming a couple things. You obviously got to blame somebody. They are in severe weather, which I have no idea why the fuck that affects them. It's not a cow. So
where's their labs?
Yeah.
The
like
labs are
the
in
labs
Alaska?
lost. Yeah, exactly. So I think that was a bullshit one. The Delta variant, I haven't heard that one in a while. That's an interesting one.
Especially in the fourth quarter when cases are coming down.
Restaurants' labor challenges.
They can't cook the Beyond fast enough?
I mean...
those are some faulty...
Yeah, I mean, if you want to... And look, my freezer right now is stocked with Beyond. I eat it literally twice a week. I love it.
I must say, personally, I have both Impossible and Beyond fatigue.
Yeah, me too. Oh, you have fatigue?
Fatigue.
Okay.
Like,
Really?
I'd prefer another veggie burger option right now.
You know what the thing is
Wow.
and as I think the thing is, like, you also would prefer a non-synthetic, like a vegetable patty, like a black bean patty.
Yeah, black bean patty. Chili's had a great one. They still do.
Houston's does.
Okay.
South Beverly Grill, that group, they have a nice black bean.
At some point, a CEO just needs to be honest. Like, we just need to make a better product. So, famously, the Domino's CEO, I think this is over 12 years ago, 13 years ago, came out publicly and said, our pizza sucks.
Yeah.
We need to
How
fix
come
it.
the Pizza Hut guy doesn't do that? Pizza Hut is disgusting. Literally disgusting.
And the CEO said we have to
like
make
it.
better pizza. Domino's is very good now.
Domino's
Do
is
you think they already
phenomenal.
had the right? You think they already had the fix in the chamber, and that was the like marketing for it?
Maybe.
Like they already had the solution.
Or maybe he was just like, fuck it. Like,
Yeah, it could have been like 15 years ago. It's like, no, because they had figured out the logistics piece, how to get 30 minutes or less and all that. And they were like, we need a better product.
Yeah.
And they made it.
You want to
They
know
did
how to make Beyond better? Eat meat.
What if Beyond just came out and said, fuck it, we're just serving
Yeah, like
you
here's
good old
just
beef.
regular patties. You know what? For the last 6 months, we've been sneaking real meat into our patties. Guess what? You're not a vegetarian anymore.
I will say, I tried
Congratulations.
the Impossible chicken nuggets, and they're phenomenal.
Okay.
But I'll probably have
Really?
to do that too.
Well, here's the thing is, let me ask you a question. As like a hamburger eater, how often are you eating a hamburger?
I was just going to say, I don't think you fatigue off the authentic meat.
I agree with that. I don't think anyone who enjoys McDonald's is like, I'm sick of McDonald's.
Yeah, there's something about it. Something about that real flesh that you don't fatigue. But look, I don't eat like a hamburger more than once a week, but I mean, maybe once every week and a half or 2 weeks, but I eat meat. You know, I eat cow beef product probably 3 or 4 times a week easily.
So yeah.
So in what forms? So obviously hamburger. What
steak,
else?
Steak, hamburger, like
carne
I might get,
asada.
like, little carne asada. I might get like I would say that pretty much covers it. Like some tacos, straight up steak, burgers is 90% of my beef intake.
Okay.
I think,
And
yeah, I mean,
can just pound it.
here's the scary thing. I think the demand just softened for those products.
I think demand softened. There's also variety of different alternative meats.
Yeah.
So if you go to Whole Foods, you could pick from one of 50 brands.
Oh yeah, right. Especially when you start looking outside of just the patties, which would Beyond Impossible kind of own for the most part. There's obviously vegetable-based patties too. But when you start going to frozen chicken nuggets, I bought some like vegan corn dogs the other day from some other random brand. I think you got to be more innovative in the products. Like you got to give us...
Yeah, they got to do better marketing.
Delilah has a Beyond meatloaf. Holy shit, it's incredible.
Really? Haven't tried it.
Incredible.
Yeah, they should do like Beyond corn dogs. Like I think Beyond and Impossible also just had a moment where it was like super like trendy. You know, like everyone was just talking about it.
Yeah.
And now it's kind of like, yeah, I get it, veggie burgers.
Yeah,
Great.
good
Love
for
them.
you.
Have you had the
Yeah.
Beyond sausage?
Yeah.
I think that's way better than the burgers.
So we do like hot dogs with them at our house for all of us. We like it. It's the problem with the Beyond Impossible is like if you don't season it well,
Right.
that the aftertaste of the actual thing I think is just I've never had
that's
real
bad.
meat, but I'm sure it's just different.
It's delightful. I mean, I didn't eat any of it, but Kareen had Beyond Del Taco the other day, which like if anything could like drown out any negative taste. And it was like, she was like, oh, it was good, but it just wasn't as good as, you know, like I feel like if you're not turning meat eaters like on some healthy type thing or something, because I thought part of the big sell in the beginning was like, oh, it's a healthier alternative and all this stuff. But if people are going back to meat that are meat eaters, that would also seem like a big problem.
Yeah, I've had the Del Taco tacos, and I would agree they're fine. But
Yeah,
even
but get yourself a beef taco and you'll be like, oh shit.
yeah, my point is even on days where I'm like, oh, I want to eat junk food, I never be like, oh, I want the Del Taco tacos.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, well, we'll see what happens, but maybe it's also just, maybe it's just a rough patch.
Yeah.
What's going on over at Binance? There's this article, $76 billion in a day. Binance became the world's biggest crypto exchange. What is Binance?
Binance is basically
Coinbase for the rest of the world.
Rest of the world. They're
What, Coinbase is only US?
No. Coinbase is in, I don't know, 50 countries, whatever the number is.
Yeah.
Binance was originally created in China. The founder moved the headquarters to Singapore. And what they did before Coinbase is they listed every token, whether they didn't have the same securities laws that like Coinbase had to abide by in the US before deciding which tokens to list. So it was a way to buy all these other meme coins and stuff before Coinbase was allowing that. And then they also provided leverage. So 4 years ago, 3 years ago, you could lever your face up.
100x.
Yeah.
Got it.
And
it just
that-
sounds like a TikTok,
Yeah.
Reddit dream.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's how they grew so quickly. And they're effectively unregulated. So all the fuckery is going on there.
Yeah, so if you want to go do some high risk shit, that's where you go do it. And just a staggering amount of volume. $76 billion a day is fucking nuts. Like, what else does that kind of volume in anything? It's
Yeah.
like
Rivian.
If I had to guess, because I've heard this, that the leading exchanges in the world, if the founder / CEO step foot on U.S. soil, to be arrested.
Yeah. Well, he in this
'Cause they
article, the
violated
Wall
every-
Street Journal, they don't say where he's based anymore. He has crazy security. The entire company does not say where they're located.
I mean, think about it. He has China and the U.S. against him.
yeah.
That's scary to
Yeah.
be CZ.
I mean,
How's this guy even alive?
I can't imagine how rich this guy is.
Oh, he's ungodly rich.
He's probably a trillionaire.
It might be.
Oh my god.
Because by the way, since he didn't follow any of the rules, he was probably order flowing his face off.
Yeah, he would see, and he probably levered himself.
Yes.
Okay, let me ask you this. Of all crypto, how do I want to define this? Of all crypto trading that happened in the last 30 days, what percent was like shit coin, meme coin, shitty shit coin, high risk, crazy speculation?
I would say from the retail side, the majority, but the problem is the institutions move so much capital and they're buying Bitcoin and Ethereum. So I would say it balances out because you have these two different players. But retail, I don't know any young person saying I bought $500 worth of Bitcoin. I've never heard that in the last 2 years.
So is it
They're
like 70% of trading, but 40% of volume or something like that?
I don't know what
if
the
those are the real
institution-
numbers,
Yeah, I
but
don't know
something like that.
I would say of the retail, it's probably 90% non-Bitcoin and Ethereum. And
Yeah.
of the institutions, it's 90% Bitcoin and Ethereum.
Yeah. And those are the ones doing the real volume.
Yeah, but retail's adding up. Look at Binance. That's retail. No institution's on Binance. At least in
Well, I
the
guess
US
more what I
institution.
mean is like less trades, less actual trades, but more volume. per
Oh,
trade.
sure. Yeah. Yeah. Transactions, it's probably nuts.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm just curious. I'm just trying to see what's going on. It just feels to me like the shitcoin guessing lottery ticket plays are like more popular than we might realize. Not that discounts Bitcoin or Ethereum at all, but like I think it's insanely popular.
You know, it's the first time, and I'll say this on the pod because we've talked about crypto so much. So there's a Fred Wilson. He's a famous investor, started Union Square Ventures in New York City. He was super early in crypto, super early in Coinbase. He's written a blog post every single day for like 15 years or maybe even longer. And it's free. You can just go to his site and subscribe to it. I subscribe to it. He was talking about Bitcoin in 2010 and said like, hey, I discovered this thing called Bitcoin. I picked up some. I wish I followed him in 2010. Yesterday, he wrote a blog post, and it's the first time I actually have a mind shift. He said for years, all my friends would ask me, I want to get into crypto. How should I do it? He goes, for years, all I said was just go on Coinbase, buy Bitcoin, buy Ethereum, and look at it in 10 years. And he said for the first time, I think that's the wrong answer, that you actually need a diverse basket of these other cryptocurrencies. And he lists 10. So he was right about Bitcoin in 2010. I think
So
he's
what's
probably,
he listening? What's he saying?
Everyone's got to subscribe. People got to do the work. It's free. It's on the
Okay.
internet.
Well, I don't want to do it.
I think I'm subscribed actually.
But my point is, I'm like a Bitcoin and Ethereum truther. I'm like, I'm never gonna like dabble in these coins because A, I think they're risky. B, I'm not doing the research. But now I'm like, fuck, I got to do the research because the guy that called Bitcoin back then and called Coinbase is like, hey, all these other protocols are gonna be important too.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that. I mean, if you're looking for just pure return, I don't think if you looked at maximum return, holding Bitcoin and Ethereum for the next 10 years is the best bet.
Agree. But this is a guy who's already made his Bitcoin and Ethereum, and he's like, even though he's made so much, he knows he can't hold it all in those two protocols.
Yeah. Yeah, he could. You're gonna hit he may think there's gonna be a ceiling at some point.
Yeah, it's also true. Okay, do you want me to read the tokens?
Yeah, come on.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not going to this stupid fucking newsletter.
I'm on it right now.
Solana, Flow, Avalanche, Polkadot, Algorand, Uniswap, Aave, Compound, Filecoin, Airweave, Helium, Stacks, Polygon, Axie,
Doge.
Decentraland. Doge was not listed. Shiba was not listed.
Was
Damn,
okay? All right, I like it.
I have
I have some of
Solana.
that shit.
That's it. I have Solana and that's it. Damn it. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Good point. Good point. That's I think the interesting thing is I think that there's also like you were so early on crypto on it, and I feel like we're almost entering territory where like there's already a new version, like there's already a new on it that's like, hey man, have you heard about freaking whatever?
Yeah, every 25-year-old probably thinks the dinosaurs are holding Bitcoin and Ethereum, the futures and Solana and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So maybe I'm holding AOL and I'm fucked.
You are, man. No, I think we're just holding gold. We just need some young. We need some young eyeballs here.
Well, I mean, I think a great example is Rusty just texted us, who was on the pod the other day. You should definitely go listen to it if you didn't get a chance. So Rusty just shared, he got a DM from someone who's actually, I've talked to on Instagram before and is in our Discord. And so the other day when Rusty came on, he was like, go claim your .eth domain name.
Yep.
So a bunch of Cathys went and did it. And apparently there was an airdrop that happened yesterday with ENS tokens.
Yep.
And everyone who had the .eth domain got them for free and made $10,000.
Unbelievable.
There's me passing on $10,000.
So all you got to do is participate in the crypto world. It's literally just
whatever
participate.
a 22-year-old says.
Yes.
It's like, all right, I'll do a little bit of all of it.
You just got to do it. There's no other, like, if someone says, go get this, fucking get up and go get it.
I love it.
All right, everyone, we're going to end this week's episode before we head into winners, losers content with a special interview with a friend of mine that I've known for 20 plus years. And in the NFT space, arguably might be the largest ever seed round of funding. That's what we think. It's a huge number. You'll hear that story at the end of the interview. And it's fascinating. It's another person that's, hung around the net in the crypto and NFT space and found an amazing opportunity. And I can't wait to share our interview with Lin Dai. Let's get into it. All right, Cathys, we have a special guest, a friend of mine that I've known probably since the late 90s. We met on the internet because I, in the late 90s, had a website with some friends from college called schoolgossip.com, which was like an early college community before there was the book.
Yeah, Zuck had a similar idea. It seems like.
He's a thief. The guy steals for a living. He wasn't even in college yet before I'd started this business. And so, and Lin had started a website called Kiwi Box, was also like a young person's kind of community entertainment site. And I think I emailed you blindly on the website, and we connected and became good friends. And I'll preface it like this. I think after the .com bust, both of us, and I don't want to speak for you, but it felt like our career path, we were not interested in the internet because it was pretty ugly after that .com bust. And I remember you went hard into the media world, and you were, you played a lot of years in media. I obviously went into fashion. Full circle, I've always thought you always are ahead of the curve. And funny story, 2 weeks ago, so I hadn't talked to Lin in a few years, pandemic. We usually see each other in New York, have drinks or whatever, and I hadn't seen him in a while. He, I guess I was posted on @NFT on Instagram when we were talking about a funny piece of content, and Lin's like, oh, you got a podcast? And then he's like, yeah, we should talk. And I call him. He proceeds to tell me he's been in the NFT game for 2.5 years. I didn't even know what it was 6 months ago. And then he proceeds to tell me he has maybe the largest ever seed round of funding ever. How insane is that?
Ever is a big number.
Ever is a big number. So
maybe. So
yeah, but either way, it's insanely large number. So Lin, welcome to the pod.
thank you for having me.
So Lin, how the hell were you in crypto this whole time and you didn't tell me?
No, not early enough. So so I was in a bunch of media companies for a while. I was at Alloy that ran digital for Gossip Girl, Vampire Diaries. Then went over to, now I was like, I'm done with teen stuff. Went over to MS Communication that run digital for Hot 97, right? So I was there for a couple of years. And then finally, Funkmaster Flex pulled me aside, was like, Lin, you have to leave here. Like, they'll never let you do what you want to do, right? They're just going to keep promising. And so I was like, I left. I joined a startup in Canada that was in the, mobile video game. So we ended up taking that company. I was there a couple of years, CMO. We took that company public. So I came back to New York in 2015. So I met with one of my mentors now, the VC Bill Tai. So Bill was the first investor in Zoom, was one of the first investors in Bitfury, the largest Bitcoin company outside of China, that he took public on the Canadian stock exchange rate, right? So as early as 2015, we're talking about how does blockchain apply to not beyond just the financial industry. So a lot of my background was in music and entertainment. So we're talking about the early use cases. And I was like, using blockchain to regulate royalty, the labels and the publishers would not go for it, right? They'll be like, why do we want to be transparent?
Yeah.
But I was like, there's some very large use cases there. And so I was basically like, hey, why don't I actually start a blockchain software company? We built kind of B2B software. Warner Music Group is one of my clients. Uber became one of my clients. And Brave Software, the Brave browser company, was one of my clients. So basically I spent years kind of building blockchain software for these big companies and really understood how, what their real needs are, right? What they really need. And as early, then about 2.5-3 years ago, Bill came to me and was like, Lin, you had to take a look at these blockchain cats. I was like, what blockchain cats? It was crypto kitties, right? So and immediately I was like, oh wow, this is a huge use case for the music industry. It doesn't compete with streaming revenue. It's like just digital merch, right? Artists can get paid directly. Labels can the labels already run a lot of the artist merch deals. So I presented NFT to kind of C-level people at all the labels in January 2020, which was early. Was a lot of crickets in those rooms.
Yeah.
So, and then fast forward to January, February this year, everybody's like, well, was this what you presented last year? I was like, yeah, we've been building this software specifically for music NFTs for kind of a year and a half ahead of everyone else. So
what exactly is it? So the name of your company is OneOf, and so how do musicians use it?
Yeah, so we work with music artists. A lot of time, big music artists come to us, like Doja Cat, right? So I'll come to us, and a lot of times music artists will have an idea of what NFT to do, but oftentimes other music artists, not as creative or just not as deep in the NFT game. Artists are the creative people. They don't know what to do. So we actually provide kind of creative NFT design and creation services, right? So we basically work with them on around either their latest music drops or latest kind of passion projects and design collections. And then it could be a kind of an NBA Top Shot style pack opening. It could be exclusive music video. It could be just another gamified experience with Chief Keef. We did our first generative collection, right? So it's 4,444 glow game on these little characters we created. That's based on his super cool underground toy line. there's actually a physical toy line for this, and they created these suckers, we call them, these glow man that like basically like, pre-sale sold out in 37 seconds. The main sale like this Tuesday like crashed out, just crushed our server, like crashed our site. So we had to like restart the main sale like next Monday. But it's every artist a little bit different. So we do, we do music, we do, and then other cool, things for music artists. So.
You mentioned labels notoriously don't like transparency and don't like, obviously, to share profits and revenue with their artists fairly. So how did the conversation change that they're now more open to this? Because if you're on chain, everything's transparent. No longer can you hide where the money's going. So how the conversation changed? Labels realized if they don't do this, they're going to be extinct, and they were like, we have to just participate?
Yeah, so it's a little bit of a hybrid, right? So in the beginning, the conversation with labels are like all about like, oh my God, we got to do like takedown notices. These are our artists and our marks, and it's being kind of like somebody just minting this without permission on OpenSea, and it's true, right? Like there was like, we were kind of talking to Post Malone, and like somebody did a Post Malone drop on OpenSea. I was like, WTF? And then like there are people like, that's not us. Right. So, so there is a problem of like, how do you know some of these drops are authentic or not? Right. There are people, we just announced last Monday that we're the official Grammys NFT platform for the next 3 years. Immediately, there are people making fake OneOf Grammys NFT and putting them up on OpenSea. It's crazy. You can't really. Right, it's very hard and very kind of, it's easily, you could easily be conned into buying something that is not like authentic, right? So there's a lot to go there. So labels' initial kind of knee-jerk reaction is like take down, and we're like, wait, like let's not stifle this brand new industry, right? That this is potentially the future of your monetization. So basically, I think, like kudos to all the labels. I think what they kind of end up realizing is this is kind of a new revenue stream. This for now does not change how they administer, royalties to their artists for streaming and for everything else. But this is just viewed as like, this is the fourth pillar, right? This is, other than streaming revenue, touring revenue, merch revenue, this is kind of a new category that is that they're open to renegotiate deals and do it in a different way, between labels, publisher, artists. I think some of the early cases are like just more fair and more equally split than traditional old school record deals.
But ultimately, royalties to artists are going to be on chain, it's trending that way, right?
Yeah, no,
and the labels probably just don't understand it.
For net new artists, sure, but the old ones are locked in deals.
Yeah, if you signed a 10-year deal 1 year ago, you got screwed.
But
or a
artists,
10-album deal, whatever.
Artists there's a lot of education, right? Like the artists still need to go through, but like I think more and more they're realizing like, maybe there is better way to monetize and better way to like create a direct to consumer model where I don't need to collateralize my future record sale in order to get that upfront check, right? So
yeah, and so the other interesting thing is you're building this on Tezos, right?
Yeah. So it's
what's that?
So Tezos is a different blockchain, right? So Ethereum is a blockchain, and Tezos is just a more energy efficient blockchain, right? Ethereum, on Ethereum mainnet, making an NFT is called minting. So minting an NFT takes the electricity of that powers your house for 5 days just to make one NFT, and it costs depends on network traffic, anywhere between $200 to $5,000 just to make one.
Yeah.
right? So it's really the game of like, crypto whales. So we really want to, music is very democratizing. We kind of want like every fan to be able to like buy one without having to worry about like gas fees.
Yeah.
Or the complexity. If you don't already open crypto or open a crypto wallet, it's not a problem, right? You can actually sign up with an email and phone number and buy your first NFT for $5 on OneOf.com under 2.5 minutes. So after that, once it goes into a custodial wallet, which means we protect it for you. And then at some point you learn more about the ecosystem. You're like, oh, cool. Like, I want to open up like my own wallet. You can transfer your NFT anytime. So that's kind of the steps we're going through, right? Like the excitement of like hearing your favorite artist like Doja Cat or like Chief Keef has an NFT drop and you want to get that right now. You can do that in like 2 minutes. Right?
Yeah,
so
and
you
I
don't
think
have to
on your
like a masterclass.
Exactly. I think on your site, the clever thing you did is very similar to NBA Top Shot. You're like, you can use your credit card and you can just make the purchase. Whereas if you want to go on OpenSea, you obviously already have to have like a Coinbase account or, one of those. Then you have to connect your wallet and you have to have ETH in your wallet and then you can make a purchase, which I get, like, that's the future. But that's not where everyone's at. And I think the ability to just go and buy it, I think is what made NBA Top Shot so interesting. Was like, yeah, anyone can just go and swipe their credit card and go buy a Top Shot.
Yeah, no, absolutely. We just like, this is like, I think like up until now, it's like a lot of blockchain is like nerds like me building software for other nerds. And then we're like, kind of like, hey, like we had to rethink through the, like, it's like, I'm like, crypto bros, we don't care about you. Like, we want to bring the next 100 million like non-crypto native like fans into the ecosystem. And then, but like all the crypto community, really, most of them like agrees and supports us, right? Because like that's what's gonna make it grow. Like on OpenSea, there's like 40,000 of us that are actively trading, and we're just buying shit back and forth from each other. Right?
That's it. 40,000.
There's 40,000. There's 40,000 active wallets. That's like really active trading, right? If you break down the stats, like so, that's why like some of the project, if you're getting laid, you're getting dumped on by very sophisticated users, right? And then that's a terrible experience if you lose money on your first project and then like you're not excited about the ecosystem. We're like, just spend $5. It's cool. You can hold on to it if you want, or you can like, maybe sell for like $10. And so just like a positive experience for everyone. It's like fun. And, like you're not like, when I was little, I was, collecting like Charles Barkley was my guy, right? Like I was collecting his card, not because I think it's going to be worth anything in the future, just because I love the art, I love the athlete. So.
Yeah, I think that's super important that the crypto community kind of organically, it happened was the NFT moment that it brought it so much more mainstream. People understood Bored Ape Yacht Club where they might not understand Ethereum or they might not understand Tezos or Bitcoin. So it just became a digestible way of this need for people who are not crypto native to decide they want to be in the crypto world because it's things that they can relate to versus you being able to relate to the difference between Tezos and Ethereum.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think actually like we just came back from NFT NYC. Like the difference we were like just all talking about, like the difference between NFT crypto people and like crypto people is so different. Like NFT crypto people are the nicest crypto people. These are like creative people that's like basically like, oh, like we can now use crypto, but we love each other. Who cares what chain you're built on? We're all like supporting each other. Like the hardcore crypto people are like, your chain sucks. So, we're, like Tezos is great for what we're doing for music, right? Like musicians care about environmental friendliness. They don't want to sell their NFT to only their richest fans. Those are things that like, Tezos help us achieve. But like, I love a lot of other chains as well. So.
That's interesting. So what does the future of your company look like? Like 5-10 years from now, what are we doing on OneOf?
Yeah, I think 5 years from now, what we're going to be is basically, kind of the NFT platform for music and lifestyle, right? So culture is very important. It's being kind of NFT is a great way to kind of capture that. So I think we're the leading company on that. Like, just the recent kind of increased activity really showed that, right? Like we're selling out in 37 seconds. It's a lot of the early things that NBA Top Shot, after kind of the first month, second month, the community got together, and those were the tractions, and similar tractions are happening on OneOf.
Got it. Okay. How much money did you raise?
$64 million so far.
So how did you raise a $64 million seed round? That just sounds insane to me.
And do you mind sharing who the investors are?
Yeah, like one of my Bill Tai, one of our early supporters and mentors, is a big investor on Nima Capital. There's quite a few also ESG funds. There's some funds that don't want to be named. There's a couple of crypto funds in there. Tezos Foundation is a piece of that too. So there's a mixed bag of traditional and crypto people in the round. But what we are tackling, the thesis I present to everyone is, vertically integrated marketplaces. It works if you all back one platform, right? If you concentrate all the buyers and all the market dynamics, everybody makes more money, right? So that thesis, we're kind of out there executing, and that's why kind of not walking to the office of the biggest artists or the biggest labels and be like, we are a startup. We'd love to do a rev share with you. Like, we're going in there with real offers that they are like, okay, like you guys are very serious, right? So and Quincy Jones is one of our co-founding partners. So we are coming in with a lot of credibility, a lot of history with music artists, and a real checkbook.
And how do people find your company if they want to Google it? Have you guys publicly launched?
Yeah. So we've been launched for about a little over a month. It's been kind of crazy. There's already about $4 billion worth of NFTs listed for sale for resale. We minted because of the Tezos technology. We can mint millions of NFTs for relatively no cost, right? So we basically, our first campaign was with the iHeartRadio Music Festival. We minted 1 million NFT in one night, just gave them away to all the fans. You can just go to oneof.com, check it out. You can probably pick out a couple NFTs for under $5 still, and trade with the other players that's in the ecosystem. It's actually kind of fun getting into the community.
Tezos has come a long way. I was in the ICO of Tezos, and there was assumption of fraud, and no one knew what was going on with the foundation. The two founders got into a fight. So I thought I lost all my money, but I ended up making money on it.
Yeah, and it's up now.
Yeah, it's up a lot.
Yeah, Tezos was kind of really a great technology for NFTs, and it's underappreciated, right? We like to pick out great technology, underappreciated chain, and then we did our Doja Cat drop. Within 5 days after that, all the crypto outlets reports that Tezos end up going up 94%.
Wow.
So I like to take all the credit, but it's about the idea of mainstream adoption, right? Everybody that's on blockchain for and in crypto for the last 5 to 10 years, it's just when are the moms and kids using this for everyday application, and NFT is that application, right? And we're the company that's trying to make it so easy for everyday people to get into it.
Yeah, I like that. That's a really good way to explain it. All right, man. This is exciting. Congratulations.
Yeah, congrats. That's awesome.
I mean, we've obviously known each other a very long time, and when it was great just to hear from you, and then hear just the success you've had in a short period of time with this project. Seems like it's a winner-take-all thing. You're clearly the kind of way in the lead right now as far as the music vertical goes. So good luck, man. Keep killing it.
Yeah, thank you. And congrats to you guys. You guys killing it with this podcast game. I love listening to you guys.
I know. We're going to do an NFT. Maybe you can help us.
Yes,
Yeah.
We'll do the we'll do the exclusive DN on an NFT for sure.
Give us a good old-fashioned pump, too.
Yeah, I don't want no $5 NFT.
We want 1,000x on the first week.
Yes, absolutely. We'll burn all the other ones, right? So.
You know all the tricks. You tell us.
Exactly. Well, like if you don't resell this for $1 million, you'll get burned by midnight. So turn it around.
Amazing, man. Thank you. Thanks for joining us. And then, whenever you have some big updates, make sure you let us know. Make sure we can get our fingers on some of those early access for some of these big artists.
Yeah, awesome. You know, the big hot collection right now is the next Monday redrop of Chief Keef's the main cell collection. So there's 4,000 glow generative collection available.
Okay.
So it's going to go on sale 4:44 p.m. ET.
Okay.
So you're going to have to, because it was so popularly priced, I'll say next Monday you had to basically get in an NBA Top Shot style queue. So you get in a queue, you got 2 minutes to buy. So we priced it super affordably. So it's only like it's $100. Right? The pre-sale was only $50. I think it's already listed for sale like 10 times that. So it's just about getting in and you can use a credit card, and so that's a fun collection.
All right, we'll check it out. I love Chief Keef. All right, man. Thank you.
All right, thanks for having me.
All right, we're going to get into winners, losers, and content. Drama had to step out for a big business meeting, aka driving range, probably.
Yeah, he's playing golf.
All right, so on it. Who do you have? Winner of the week.
My winner of the week is Miami. So Miami launched a Miami coin 3 months ago.
I heard about that.
And the Miami coin, the city staked it, their portion that the city owns, and has generated $21 million in revenue in the last 3 months for the city. And if you annualize just that one quarter, that would equal 1/5 of the tax revenue of the city of Miami.
So, damn, what's his name? Suarez?
Suarez is figuring it out.
Yeah, mayor of Miami.
Mayor of Miami, and now New York's doing the same thing.
I heard they're doing like a Bitcoin dividend too.
Yeah, so now what Suarez is doing is if you open a digital wallet in Miami, they're going to automatically give you some Bitcoin. So it's free money. They're paying you to live in Miami.
Yeah. Fuck. That's good. I doubted this guy.
I was early on Suarez. Remember?
And then you kind of threw him under the bus.
You got to be flexible.
But yeah, I mean, yeah.
This is how, to Tim, we got to get creative to generating revenue. This is brilliant. And it's out the back of no one loses here.
Yeah. Because the coin's hot. I want to own a Miami coin.
Why not?
Love Miami. All right. That's a great winner. My winner is anyone who heads over to shopnewrepublic.com and takes advantage of our sale. Today's 11/11, so we put a bunch of stuff on sale for $11.11. Let me tell you, we are not making money on those items. So take advantage. And if you haven't seen, the new improved New Republic site has all of our brands on there now. So it has the 5-4 stuff. It has New Republic stuff. It has GRC stuff. It has a lot of other really cool products on there. And we're having a massive sale. So take advantage of it and enjoy. The stuff is cheap. There's some incredibly well-priced items I highly recommend. And there's stuff for women too. Check it out. On and loser.
My loser is the kind of crowd that forced Elon Musk to sell the stock, even though I voted in favor of it.
You're one of those losers.
Just to see the fuckery.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I think they're going to realize, this isn't a way to, attack billionaires. Forcing them to sell stock, pay capital gains. Because we're talking this guy's going to sell $20 billion of stock. So what's that, $4 to $5 billion of capital gains? We just signed a $1.2 trillion infrastructure bill. Look at the math. What are you going to get by taxing all these billionaires? We printed $6 trillion last year. we're approving another like 4 or 5 trillion in the next in this bill and the next bill. You're wasting your energy saying Jeff Bezos shouldn't be worth 100 billion. When the government has proven we'll just print 4 trillion new dollars after the 6 trillion.
Yeah, I get it.
So what are you getting? There's no benefit other than just saying I got you.
What if we all stop paying taxes then? I mean, I'm not paying that much.
Yeah,
it's insignificant. I'll stop.
I think you should.
Right? Who cares? None of us will pay taxes.
I mean, these guys are all paying taxes. You're just saying they need to pay like 70% of their.
It's not significant enough.
No, in aggregate, they already pay taxes. My point is, sticking up these 100 billionaires, you're not doing anything. You're already collecting whatever taxes they've already paid. So in aggregate, 400 million Americans or 350 million Americans, the taxes add up. Adding another 100, even if you aggregate another 100 billion from the billionaires in America, it has zero impact on American society, other than you're sticking them up.
Yeah, what's one more audio engineer paying taxes? I feel like I might as me and
your
Elon.
argument doesn't hold because you're not understanding what I'm saying.
He's saying he doesn't want to pay taxes.
Then don't pay it and deal with the consequences. These guys aren't saying they're not paying taxes. You just want them to give away all their money.
I just want to create more opportunities instead of creating ample opportunities for just a select few people.
So what do you think? What's going to happen? We just printed 1.2 trillion for infrastructure. So you think that's going to be spent efficiently?
I think we've got a lot of puppets in the government, of course, but I think it's stronger than a growing divide between the rich and the poor.
Yeah, but taxes is not the solution, right? The solution is we should be spending more money on helping everyone get a higher quality education when they're younger, childcare, things of that nature. Because the problem is we're going to go spend money in a lot of these in the infrastructure bill. There's a lot of spending that is very questionable, where it's going to end up. If it actually goes to help build our roads and bridges and our infrastructure for the country and puts it into climate change tech and actually do those things, it's going to obviously set the country up for an incredible future. But these bills are filled with nonsense.
Yeah, there's crypto regulation in the infrastructure bill by Congress that doesn't even know what crypto is.
Yeah. They talk to CZ. Okay, so that's your loser. My loser is Disney. Disney reported earnings and the stock got slaughtered based on slowing growth in its streaming business. And it's worth effectively less than Netflix right now. And if you believe the IP is the most important thing in the future of the content wars, Disney has the best IP in the world. And when you think about this is my belief, and I was shocked the stock got slaughtered. If you believe IP matters in the future, Disney literally has the best IP. They have the Marvel, they have the Star Wars, they have all that shit, right? They have physical experiences for those that want to participate. If they just integrate full-blown gambling into ESPN, it'll make money again. It still makes money. But here's the thing. If you're thinking about metaverse, I mean, who else do you want to hang out with? You want to hang out with Mickey? You want to hang out with Darth Vader and fucking the Avengers?
The Marvel characters, yeah.
Dude, I just don't see how anyone doesn't see if you unlock the metaverse for Disney, it's unlimited potential. Because those characters are going to be in the metaverse. And if you want to go, who else? There isn't any character that's not created by Disney that's bigger than Disney's characters.
Yeah, and it's also interesting the different strategies. So Netflix and Disney. Disney is playing IP. Netflix is just playing flywheel of we're going to create the most content and there's going to be something for everyone.
Yeah.
And I'm curious when Netflix reports what their subscriber growth is comparatively.
I just think the IP matters so much in content wars.
I think it matters for Disney's larger business because they can monetize those characters at Disneyland and
well, if the metaverse is important.
Yeah, metaverse is the equivalent of the figurines, right?
Yeah. I mean, dude, think about it. If these characters are going to be licensed in the metaverse unlimited.
Yep.
How many people get access to buy a Disney toy? Very few people on Earth can get access to even that shit in every corner of the world. Everybody knows who Mickey Mouse is. Everybody knows. I don't know anyone who doesn't know who Mickey Mouse is.
It's probably right.
Big ass ears like me.
Do your own TikTok comment.
So the irony of TikTok comments is that's how I actually am in real life. So
You feel that voice inside.
yeah. All right, content
of the week. Mentioned it earlier on Tuesday, but the Bankless podcast had Brian Armstrong, founder and CEO of Coinbase.
Yep.
I thought it was just a great discussion on crypto, and just search Bankless podcast, and I think it's like 2 episodes ago. So before you DM me, what's the podcast? Search Bankless podcast, and Brian Armstrong's the guest.
What's the podcast? My content recommendation, I talked about it earlier in the week. The debut is like a crazy record high. It is the show Yellowstone. I got to watch like 45 minutes of it last night before I went to sleep. Holy shit, it's so good. It's still a little too violent for me, but it's incredible. Interesting thing, it's on the Paramount network, okay?
Okay.
I had watched it, a season. I was watching it delayed. So I think I was traveling. So I ended up buying all the episodes on iTunes. Okay. Yesterday, I want to go watch it. I how do I watch this show? So it says Paramount Network.
Yeah.
The ad. So I go subscribe to the Paramount streaming service. Okay. Go on Paramount. It's not on there. The Paramount streaming service does not carry the show on Paramount Yellowstone. So I was like, fuck, how do you watch this thing? I just subscribed to this thing. I go over to, I have Spectrum for cable. I search them on demand, free.
It's great.
Yeah, but I got suckered in subscribing, and I don't know how
You're
to
not
unsubscribe.
canceling it. No chance.
Yeah.
It's similar like how the Olympics,
You're still peacocking?
yeah, I subscribed for the purposes of watching the Dream Team, and they
Yeah.
also just made it difficult. It was impossible to watch any of the important events.
Yeah. Oh, that's what they do. All right, guys, that is it. Have an incredible weekend. If you live in Southern California, head over to the 90s Experience and enjoy the weather. It's like 90 degrees today.
It's crazy.
It's a hot, hot Thanksgiving. Bye.